This chilling footage comes from a channel called Franco TV. Franco is known for documenting his solo adventures into places most would never dare to step foot in. Haunted cemeteries, abandoned buildings, and forests tied to terrifying urban legends. On January 19, 2024, Franco set out to explore a forest shrouded in dark legend. Locals spoke of strange figures, eerie voices, and even demons said to haunt its depths. Where most would never dare step foot, Franco made the bold decision to not only enter, but to camp there overnight. With his camera rolling, he ventured into the woods, determined to discover whether the terrifying stories held any truth.
Disgusting areas I've ever been to. I'm in an area where it's supposed to be cursed of what is known as a skinwalker, but here they don't call it a skinwalker, it's a different demon type of name. But where I'm at now, people sacrifice their dogs, their animals, in order to keep the demons away and to keep the curse away. The curse is if any of your animals get sick or causes dread. Oh my God, it's so hard to talk because it stinks. My eyes are watering right now. So apparently, if your animal or dog gets, there's mosquitoes everywhere too, gets sick or your sheep no longer survive, basically what happens is they sacrifice an animal to keep the curse off. And if you don't keep the curse off and you kill an animal that could be a demon or might be possessed, the curse has traveled to your family. There's actually a movie based off of it. I don't remember the name. I'll write it here. But everywhere I'm at right now are the remains of bodies. It's not yet dark. I'm trying to make my way to this area because it's going to be really hard to find. God, it stinks so bad.
As Franco arrived at the trail, he was immediately struck by a foul, suffocating stench, like rotting flesh hanging in the air. Scattered around the area were the remains of dead animals, their bodies left to decay. Locals believe these sacrifices are made to ward off the curse of the forest. But to Franco, it was a chilling reminder that something far darker might be tied to these woods. Wasting no time with the suffocating stench, Franco pressed on, driving deeper into the forest. As night began to fall, the atmosphere grew heavier, shadows stretching unnaturally across the trees. With only his camera and flashlight cutting through the darkness, Franco began his exploration in the woods.
I don't know, but I keep hearing something in this direction. What the hell is that? I got something in the distance back there.
A few minutes into the forest, Franco caught a sound from the darkness. When he turned his camera, two glowing eyes reflected back at him. He brushed it off as an animal and pressed deeper into the woods.
My goal is to camp out here for the night. Probably in my car or something. I don't see the eyes anymore. But there's a lot of trails that go through here. Like right over through here. There's a bunch of other trails over there. Look at this. This bird. Bird feathers.
As Franco ventured deeper, unease began to creep in. The air felt heavier, the forest swallowed by darkness. That's when the first unsettling event began to unfold.
I just heard a man. What the fuck was that? Listen. Fucking shit. What the fuck was that?
He began to hear faint weeping echoing through the trees, low, broken sobs drifting from the darkness around him. At first, Franco brushed it off, convincing himself it must be some kind of animal. But the sound was too human, too deliberate.
I've been paranoid to turn my back towards the forest because I heard what sounded like heavy footsteps. I did see what looked like eyes staring at me from further deep inside coming towards the house, and then they were just gone. See, I'm literally just hearing what sounds like movement. What the fuck was that? I'm gonna switch to my other camera, my Psionics. Listen. I don't know what that is. Listen. It sounds like it's coming from here.
Once again the sound came. Soft, broken weeping drifting through the trees. Franco froze, his pulse quickening. Where was it coming from? The forest seemed to close in around him, every shadow alive with possibility. Yet, driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, he pressed on, determined to find the source of the cries.
I have to get into from the forest somehow. What the fuck is that? Oh shit. I don't know what the fuck that is. I just drooled all over myself. I don't know what the fuck that was. Listen. I'm gonna turn off the IR.
The weeping grew louder, coming from the bushes just beside him. Franco snapped his flashlight toward the sound, but it only made the cries heavier, more desperate. Instinct took over, and he bolted, running blindly into the night. But then, something made him stop. Slowly, he turned the flashlight back over his shoulder, and that's when he saw it.
I can hear it. There's something right there watching me. Oh shit. I don't know what it is. That's the same thing I seen watching me from the inside. Oh, it still sees me. Oh shit. Yeah, that.
Through the beam of his flashlight, a pair of eyes stared back from the bushes, unblinking, silent, watching him. But something was wrong. They weren't low to the ground like a coyote or any animal he knew. These eyes were higher, taller than him. And whatever was lurking there might be the reason for those eerie, strange noises.
The problem with that shit is not small. It's standing high like a human being. Like it's up tall.
Shaken and unwilling to push deeper, Franco made the choice to spend the rest of the night in his car. From there, he waited in silence, watching the tree line, uncertain if something out there was still moving in the dark.
What the is that?
The noises returned, faint voices, like people talking in the distance. Franco's mind raced, unsure if it was his imagination or if something was really out there. He scanned the area with night vision, but the forest remained empty. No humans, no locals, and yet the voices persisted.
So I'm kind of finding it a little bit hard to sleep because I keep thinking about what I just seen and what I heard on the outside. So every time I close my eyes, I just keep thinking I'm going to see a random guy or something just standing in front of my door. Or those creepy eyes that I seen staring at me from the inside is the only thing that keeps bothering me. I can't even, I'm trying to close my eyes and I'm forcing myself to close my eyes without kind of panicking a little bit. Because everything that just happened was right here in front of me. So I feel like my own mind is kind of racing at me. It's like, Frank, you need to get out of here. You need to go find safety.
Franco's heart raced as the sounds continued. Whispers, murmurs, and movements just beyond his vision. Each noise made him question what was truly out there and how close it might be. By morning, Franco emerged from the forest, shaken and unsettled, the memory of those glowing eyes and unexplainable noises still vivid in his mind. What had he truly seen? And what had been stalking him in the shadows? The mystery remained unsolved, leaving him to call it one of the most terrifying nights of his life. This footage comes from Brendan, the creator behind the channel Uncharted Travel. With an endless curiosity for forgotten places, he ventures into abandoned buildings, crumbling ruins, and long-lost structures most people would never dare to enter. His fearless approach allows viewers to experience these unsettling locations through his lens, revealing the quiet mysteries that time has buried within the walls. On November 1st, 2019, Brendan set out on another exploration. His destination this time was an abandoned prison, buried deep in isolation, far from any trace of civilization in Canada. Instead of just exploring, Brendan made the bold decision to camp inside, spending the night within the decaying walls, where silence and darkness seemed to press in from every side.
Actually, what I'm doing today, I'm going to be traveling about 6 hours north to an isolated prison in the middle of nowhere in Canada. I'm going to be going alone, and I'm going to be staying the night. The only people I've actually seen out this far are reservists, so that's a little bit concerning. Hopefully there's no one around where I plan on parking.
He finally arrived, parked his car, and gathered his equipment before beginning the long 2-hour hike through the wilderness. After what felt like an endless walk, Brendan reached the abandoned prison. Its towering, rotting walls loomed in silence as he stepped inside, carefully searching for a place to set up camp among the ruins.
This is gonna get super creepy at night.
Once he found a suitable spot, Brendan pitched his tent before darkness could take hold. The weight of isolation pressed on him. No signs of life for miles, just him and the rotting prison walls. Surrounded by silence, he cooked a simple dinner, then decided to venture deeper into the building, wandering through its crumbling halls and rusted doors. That's when the first unsettling event of the night began. A sudden bang echoed through the hallway, sharp and violent, shattering the silence as if something heavy had been hurled with force. Startled, Brendan froze, scanning the darkness with his flashlight, but nothing was there. He tried to dismiss it as the building shifting with age. But as he walked further, more sounds stirred around him, too deliberate to ignore.
He began to run out. There's something at the end of the hallway that keeps making noise. It came from this room at the end. Maybe it's just my imagination.
A deep, dragging sound echoed from the farthest room, the kind of noise that makes your blood run cold. Brendan froze as he might not be alone. Summoning his nerve, he approached the room, flashlight cutting through the gloom. But when he looked inside, nothing. Empty walls. Silence. Uneasy, he abandoned his search and returned to his tent.
What a beautiful sight to behold. My crappy tent. I can't wait to just put on some dry socks and go to bed. It's been a long day.
Brendan settled into his camp, hoping for a night of rest after the long day. But the silence of the prison felt heavy and unnatural, and before long, that silence shattered with something terrifying.
I'm in my tent and I keep hearing something outside. Sounds like it's in the corridor, one of the corridors. Maybe an animal, I don't know. Of course now it's... Did you hear that? I hope that mic picked that up. Okay, let me get my shoes on. We're checking this out. We had Fox earlier, so maybe it was one of his buddies. It sounded literally just out in this hallway.
Once again, the eerie symphony of slamming doors and echoing bangs filled the air. Brendan's pulse quickened as he searched outside, but there was nothing. Uneasy, he convinced himself it was in his head and slipped back into his tent. But just as sleep began to claim him, a sharp, jarring sound ripped through the stillness. Something, or someone, was right outside his tent.
Go away!
A cold, unnatural laugh cut through the night, mixed with haunting howls from just beyond the tent. Something moved around him, circling, every step echoing in the stillness. Brendan's heart pounded, each sound feeding the fear tightening around him like a trap. As the noises faded for a brief moment, Brendan carefully moved his tent to the second floor, every nerve on edge from the eerie howls echoing just beyond the fabric. He prayed whatever was out there would vanish before it found him, but the night wasn't in his favor. Deep, guttural growls erupted from just beyond the tent. At first, it sounded like an animal, but when Brendan stepped outside to investigate, there was nothing. No footprints, no movement, no sign of life. Only the eerie silence that pressed in around him.
I'm guessing it's on the lower level, on the second floor, beneath me.
Fear gripped him, yet Brendan stayed put, knowing venturing outside could be deadly. The night dragged on, thick with silence and tension. He waited in tense silence, every sound amplified in the stillness of the night, praying for the first light of dawn. When morning finally arrived, he made it out unharmed. But the memory of the night's terror stayed with him, a chilling reminder of the unknown that had lurked just beyond his tent. This encounter comes from a YouTube channel called The Project Purgatory, where 3 brothers from Los Angeles venture into places said to be haunted by dark entities. On January 20th, 2024, they set out into the depths of Cobb Forest, an area whispered about in local legends, a place where people claim to see ghostly figures and unexplainable phenomena. Their plan was simple: hike into the woods, set up camp, and spend the night testing the myths themselves. But as they pushed deeper into the forest, they had no idea that their curiosity would lead them into something far more sinister.
Y'all always keep your ears on the smooth. Oh man.
This is deja vu, bro. This exact moment is deja vu. That's so crazy.
We've been here
This
before.
is deja vu of a deja vu moment.
So you always knew you was gonna be a ghost hunter, huh?
You said that exact same thing. Crazy, bro. I might be a medium.
I'm gonna be over here. You see that shooting star?
Mhm.
That shit looked hella close.
Yo, where you going, bro? We're not supposed to separate.
They set off on their hike toward the chosen campsite, but only a few minutes into the woods, something terrifying unfolded.
You just feel like a scary movie right now. Just walking through the forest, all you hear is
Hey, why do I feel like we're being followed? I know you heard that shit.
yeah.
Sounds like a tambourine.
Strange sounds began echoing through the forest, forcing them to freeze in place as they tried to pinpoint where the noises were coming from.
I know you hear him laughing.
Yeah.
You don't hear him laughing? Flip, you don't hear this nigga laughing?
He's in the bush right there.
Should we walk by him?
Are we going?
What the fuck? Should we go over there?
Yeah.
Let's go.
If anything, we're straight.
Go trip him up. Bro, keep your light on this nigga. What the fuck? I definitely heard that shit.
No, it's like over there somewhere.
You heard it too?
Yeah.
This shit is crazy, bro. Is he coming towards us? I can't. Where'd he go?
They're in the bush right there.
Alright, so should we go that way where people actually
Nah.
responding?
You wanna go this way?
Eerie laughter rippled through the trees, followed by a strange scream that didn't sound entirely human. With their hearts pounding, they pushed deeper in the direction of the noise, only to realize they were stepping into something far more unsettling.
Yeah. Hey. Bro, what? I don't even...
Okay.
Walking through, we see a group standing around in a circle. 2 of them laughing for no reason. We start walking, we see one pop up behind a bush, just standing there straight staring at us.
The fuck do
Then
you
the
do
group
that?
all in a circle starts looking at us while we walk by them. And then they start following us as we walk by them. So we all got our shit out right now.
As they walked further in, a masked figure stood eerily still, watching them. They pushed ahead, only to stumble upon a group of people arranged in a circle, frozen in place, no movement at all, as if they were pretending to be mannequins.
Bro, make sure you keep, brother. You hear this?
Why are they following us right now?
They're following us, bro. They're following us.
I know they're following us.
They're following us. Come on, come on.
Yo, don't put the light this way. I can't see that way.
They're following us, bro. Yo.
The tension grew heavier as the brothers realized the figures were now trailing them, their footsteps accompanied by chilling bursts of laughter that echoed through the forest.
Bro, we might sprint out with this bitch. Alright, there's a gate, bro. Let's get to that gate. At least we know whatever's behind us has to come behind us, and not from the side. This shit dark, bro.
Wrong way. What's up here?
Something over here.
Oh, no. You're definitely not going in there.
Yeah, we are.
You heard it? Walk a little bit. You heard it? Why are we doing it?
You heard a wolf though?
Yeah. You guys think they're still over there?
I don't know, bro.
I definitely heard that shit.
No, it's like over there somewhere.
You heard it too?
I swear it sounds like a tambourine.
Got my hand on my machete, bro. I'm ready.
Howls tore through the silence, followed by a strange, trampoline-like thudding that echoed between the trees, unnatural, as if someone was deliberately trying to toy with them. The uneasy sense of being watched clung to every step, a gnawing reminder that they might be in far more danger than they first believed. When the trail suddenly ended, they were forced to turn back. But waiting in the dark ahead were the same figures, already there, as if anticipating their every move.
Is that them?
Yeah.
Alright. We're coming up on them, come on.
I'm not sticking around. What's three move? I feel like they surrounding us. Get him. You just say get him? Nigga, run! Yeah, I'm not sticking around.
The group suddenly closed in, surrounding them like predators circling prey. Then, one chilling command broke the silence. Get them. That's when it hit. The realization that this was no accident. These people were deliberately trying to trap them. Panic surged as the brothers bolted, hearts pounding, fear consuming them with every step. A storm of questions rattled in their minds. Who were these people? Why were they chasing them? What was their purpose? Though the three brothers managed to escape unharmed, the terror of that night never left them. Some viewers speculate they may have stumbled into the path of a cult, interrupting a ritual they were never meant to witness. This encounter comes from a YouTube channel known as Adventure, where Adam takes his viewers along on his journeys, whether it's van camping, car camping, or road trips across remote places. But on October 31st, 2022, Halloween night, Adam decided to try something different. He set out on a stealth camping trip in his van, choosing a secluded forest with a cemetery nearby as his destination. Adam ventured into the woods, eventually parking his camper van near the edge of the cemetery that sat beside the tree line. After settling in, he began preparing a simple dinner inside the van, before heading out into the woods.
Toasty, the finest meal a man can eat. That is the one. It's dark and I don't have a map of these woods, I don't know these woods, so I'm just going to take a wander around, and I think I'm going to take my little stove and maybe make a hot chocolate or something in there. I might have some chai lattes or something knocking about as well. Hopefully, the ghosty will smell the toasty and come straight to me. I've got a bit of a problem. I cannot see a thing with this light shining in my eyes. So this is coming into the woods now, and on the left is the little church house, and behind that is the cemetery.
Everything at first seemed calm as Adam filmed the cemetery. Quiet, still, almost peaceful. But then, without warning, the atmosphere shifted. The air grew heavier, carrying with it an unshakable sense of unease.
I'm just the other side of the cemetery now. I'm going to go deeper into the woods because I don't think if I was a ghost and I come out of the cemetery, why would you knock about just on the outskirts? Do you know what I mean? You sleep there all day, you're going to want to go into the woods.
It's easy to miss at first, but if you look closely, a faint silhouette drifts past Adam's side. Strangely, he didn't notice it. He heard nothing. No footsteps, no rustling leaves. If it had been a person, there should have been some sound. Yet Adam remained calm, unaware of what had just passed him by, and carried on as if nothing had happened.
What the hell was that?
Suddenly, strange sounds came from deep within the forest. Adam paused, listening, but quickly brushed it off as just wildlife and carried on. Yet the silence that followed was unsettling, too still, too unnatural. To steady his nerves, he set up his stove and began preparing hot chocolate, hoping the small comfort would drown out the unease creeping over him.
So I've taken a
While exploring the woods, Adam caught sight of a faint beam of light flickering between the trees, like glowing eyes peering back at him. But what he didn't see was far more disturbing. When his flashlight passed through the forest, a shadowy figure stood motionless among the trees. Its shape was off, unnatural, frozen as if it had been watching him all along. Adam, unaware, carried on, never realizing what lingered just beyond his sight.
I mean, the last thing I want to do is stack it down a hill. There are a lot of noises in these woods, but at the same time, if I was in the woods on a normal night, I'd just think it's normal. It's only because I'm thinking I'm on a ghost hunt, so every little noise, I'm like, is that a ghost? But in all honesty, it's fine. It's frogs and pigeons. Pigeons! I love pigeons. The light on the top of my camera, I think is going to die quite soon, so I'm only going to have my torch left.
Everything felt calm, but Adam had no idea that he was not as alone as he believed. Something, or someone, was already watching him from the darkness.
Right, I'm starting to get a little bit lost, not going to lie. But I think I'm going to head back towards the way that I came because I swear I keep seeing someone. Hold on. There's no one there, but I swear there was. I think I'm gonna go this way, to be honest with you. What the hell? That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the f***? I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
Then, out of nowhere, Adam spotted it. Someone standing deep in the woods. A black figure with a pale, expressionless face, frozen in place, staring directly at him. Its features were impossible to recognize, its shape wrong, unsettling, as if it wasn't fully human. Panic surged through him. Terrified, Adam bolted from the woods, but as he ran, the figure hurled something at him from behind. narrowly missing him. Heart pounding, he raced toward the safety of his camper van.
I'm not even joking. What the f? I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
Adam stayed inside his camper, heart racing, every sound amplified in the still night. As soon as the first light of dawn broke, he didn't waste a second. He drove off, leaving the woods behind. He escaped safely that day, but even a moment's delay could have been disastrous. The intentions of that pale-faced figure remained unknown, and the reason it lurked there in the dead of night would never be revealed. Some mysteries, it seems, are better left in the shadows. This unsettling footage comes from a YouTube channel called Northwest Wind, where Sam often documents his stealth camping trips and outdoor adventures, bringing viewers along for every step of the journey. On January 26, 2024, Sam set out to camp in a quiet patch of woodland near a local park in Cleveland, Ohio. With his gear shouldered, he trekked toward the spot he had chosen to spend the night, unaware of what awaited him in the hours to come.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get a fire going either. I brought everything I need to start a fire, but... Oh, this looks nice up here. I brought everything I need to start a fire, but everything's literally soaked. This looks pretty nice up here. I think we're going to call this home for the evening. Looks pretty dry. Well, relatively. What do you know? This looks like a tent or a tarp. That kind of sketches me out. So that's the remains of a tent and a tarp. That means somebody's camped back here before. Now, it could have just been some young punks smoking dope. Or it could have been like an Asian Tony type character. Maybe Asian Tony himself. That kind of sketches me out. I don't like the vibe I got seeing that. That gives me a weird vibe.
After finding a suitable spot, Sam pitched his tent and sat down to eat his lunch before nightfall. But as darkness settled over the woods, the air seemed to grow heavier, pressing down on him with an uneasy weight. A creeping feeling began to stir, an unshakable sense that choosing this place to camp might soon become a decision he would regret.
We'll close this. I'm not gonna lie, it's the perfect length for me. Perfect size. Nice and cozy. The ground is soaked, even with the ground cloth. No moisture came through. It's just what wicked in here before I put the fly on. It looks shorter than it is. I mean, I can... Oops, sorry. So we're gonna relax for a while.
As night slowly settled in, exhaustion finally pulled him down. But just as sleep began to take hold, strange sounds stirred him awake, unfamiliar noises breaking through the stillness of the woods.
Somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent. Somebody's out there. I don't know if they're coming this way or just walking around out there. I can't tell. Somebody's definitely walking around out there, though. Hang on. I don't want to leave the light on in case they could see in here. I think the fly is thick enough that they can't see the light, but still, I'm leaning right up against the lantern, so you can only just barely see my face. Somebody's walking around out there. They're getting closer, too.
Suddenly, the crunch of footsteps echoed outside Sam's tent, slow, deliberate, each one drawing closer. It wasn't the random scatter of an animal. It sounded purposeful, as if something, or someone, was closing in on him.
Listen. I don't like this at all. I'm spooked.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
I think there's two of them. They're coming closer to the tent. They have to know that I'm in here. I'm gonna try and just be silent. Hang on. They're walking around outside in circles.
Hello? Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop.
He called out into the darkness, but no voice answered back. Instead, the footsteps grew heavier, circling his tent, deliberate, calculated. Whoever was out there wasn't trying to hide. Sam lay frozen, listening as the unknown presence stalked just beyond the thin fabric walls.
Hello? Alright, I'm getting the out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what the this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? They're with me. They're with me here. Holy crap. Get away. What do you want? Hello? I can't see you. Hello? Alright, I'm getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. Hello? What do you want? Say something. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! Alright, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone! They went over that way. I can't see them now. I know you're there. I see you. They collapsed my tent on me and pulled the fly off while I was still in there. It smells like someone's smoking a cigarette too. I smell your cigarette!
Suddenly, his tent collapsed around him. When Sam stepped out, he saw two figures standing still, their flashlights cutting through the dark. Terrified, he called out, but they didn't respond.
I'm leaving, don't follow me! I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. Alright, I don't know which way to go. How the hell do I get out of here? Alright. Stay away from me! They're coming behind me. I don't know what they're doing. They could just be around. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. They're at my campsite. I see them. I see you reflecting off my tent. Leave my shit alone! Alright, I'm getting out of here. You can have it.
As Sam realized they were closing in, he bolted, abandoning his campsite. He stumbled with every step, but the figures didn't let up, shadowing his every move through the dark woods.
I just ate I just ate I'm soaked. I'm toast. Okay, oh, they're coming. Leave me alone! Okay.
He ran until the flashlights finally vanished into the darkness. Only then did he allow himself a shaky breath, his heart still pounding. Sam escaped unharmed, but the memory of that night would linger with him forever. The woods seemed quiet again, but the questions remained. Who were they? What did they want? And why had they been chasing him? Questions that would never be answered, leaving the terror of that night to haunt him forever. If you enjoyed our video, then like and comment which encounter was the most disturbing, and subscribe our channel for more disturbing content.